Case filled with embarrassing personal details outlining the sex life of star prosecutor Juan Martinez.
He became a household name during the Jodi Arias trial, but he's now facing a disciplinary hearing accused of ethical violations during the case.
ABC 15 investigator Sonu Wasu uncovering some new information and has more on what's at stake here.
For the public, the Jodi Arias trial involved a horrific crime and a fiery prosecutor who wanted to see a murderer sentenced to death.
I asked you whether or not you called her dumb, right?
But for lawyers who care about ethical conduct inside of a courtroom, it was also a case involving a prosecutor who they say crossed the line.
When I think about Juan Martinez, I think there's someone who seriously misunderstands his role as a prosecutor in this state.
Karen Clark is a legal ethics attorney who now represents Arias. She filed the first bar charges against Juan Martinez. Among the accusation, Martinez allegedly having sex with a social media blogger who was covering this case and leaking sealed information to her, including the name of a juror. He's also accused of communicating with another juror after she was dismissed from the trial. At issue, how many times the two communicated. In a sealed deposition obtained by ABC 15, juror number 3 said it was multiple times. State bar documents indicate that's different than what Martinez told investigators. In her deposition, juror number 3 says she's the one who reached out to Martinez first. She says the two texted and talked multiple times. She describes those conversations as, quote, flirty. She says she sent nude pictures of herself to Martinez after he told her he was, quote, a breast man. But the conversation between Martinez and juror number 3 wasn't just flirty or sexual in nature. In her deposition, juror number 3 describes a 50-minute phone conversation in which Martinez described her as his, quote, deep throat, referring to the confidential informant from Watergate. She says he asked her about how members of the Arias jury were feeling and which way they were leaning. I spoke to juror number 3 today via text, and she told us not to use her name, but she also says she's very upset that she may not get to tell her full story in the Juan Martinez disciplinary hearing. Juror 3 writes, I think in dismissing my testimony, it further shows the boys' club mentality. It allows them to take the focus off the actual issue. The pieces all tie together, and clearly his strategy is to remove as many pieces as possible. I'm disappointed at the poor representation of what the justice system should look like, because this is not it. Juror 3 tells us she has not received any official notification stating she won't be called to testify. But one Valley attorney tells us this case is more than about Juan Martinez's conduct.
It's not only important to evaluate Juan Martinez, but to evaluate the Maricopa County Attorney's Office for how they've dealt with these allegations, how they've disciplined Juan Martinez or not disciplined him. It's important to evaluate the State Bar of Arizona. I would say just in general, the fact that most of the file is sealed is way overreacting. I can't imagine why most of those documents would be sealed. There might be portions of the documents that could be withheld, but to seal most of the file seems to be a gross overreaction.
There is much at stake here. County Attorney Bill Montgomery is a finalist for the state Supreme Court. The verdicts in many felony cases tried by Martinez could be challenged. And most importantly, the integrity of the state bar, its ability to police its members to ensure a fair and ethical process for all, is under intense scrutiny. Sonu Wasu, ABC 15, Arizona.
The hearing that had been set to start tomorrow now is going to be delayed, and we'll let you know as soon as we learn the new date.
Now to the